So, and I remember him saying, yeah, I'm dark, but you ain't never seen nobody pretty as me, have you? And she fell out, and from that moment, my mother was in love with him.
I remember visiting your home and seeing right in the foyer this huge black and white picture of, you know, your mom and he at their prom. What a beautiful story, you know. What a beautiful life that is. He found the girl he loved, and he loved her.
So I want to say to my lovely wife, thank you for 21 years of happiness. She was with me when I was just me, and I want to say I love you. Thank you. All right. And this is for real. This is not for the camera.
At the time that he and my mom married in 1977, he was working for General Motors. And after that, he just had all kinds of odd jobs.
I didn't have steady work, you know, but I never was ashamed about taking work.
It was by the time he got to Wonder Bread, I believe I was like 12, I was like in the 6th or 7th grade, and he hated that job.
I said, Rhonda, I quit today. I've done everything that everybody always wanted me to do all my life. I'm a comedian. If I don't do this, I'm gonna die.
He wants to do this. Now, if he doesn't make it, he's always gonna look at me and say, you stopped me from my dream. You prevented me from doing this. So I said, well, I don't want to be the one to block that. If he's going to do it, I'm going to have to just give him my blessings and let him go on and do it.
His wanting to support his family, I think, was the biggest drive for him.
It's not just trying to get by for the sake of your family. It's trying to get by and pursue a dream.
I'm watching the Big Valley, and I know it's one motherfucking thing. They show every nationality in the world. They show Hispanics, Chinese, Arabs, white men, but they never show the black cowboy. And I know it's another motherfucking thing. Every time the cowboy going to a bar, he ain't never get no motherfucking change back. And that's why I wasn't no motherfucking black cowboys.
Back then, there wasn't like a lot of... There were black comics, but you were literally like in the Negro Leagues or the Chitlin Circuit or whatever you want to call it. You're either a superstar or nothing, or totally at the bottom of the barrel.
Sometimes with comedians, you can just be known on just our, you know, just the black people will know you. And he wanted the world to know who he was.
Bernie played to a black audience. At the same time, there was probably 600 white comedy clubs. And when I say white comedy clubs, I call them white comedy clubs because, you know, if you're in New York City and you have a comedy club, and New York's half black, and you don't book any black acts, that's like having a whites only sign up, you know.
You had to have a name behind you. You had to have like a Def Jam or something, you know, behind you, unless you did the white circuit. The white circuit, you know, the Bernie Macs and the Joe Torres was accepted.
Mr. Bernie Mac, live, the comedy.
I started doing comedy in the comedy clubs in 1977. I couldn't wait until I got my face on that doggone wall. I couldn't wait till they called my name when I walked through the smoke-filled room, the little small table, and pulled that mic out that hole.
How you feeling, my brother? What's your name?
I did small markets. I did secondary markets, places where a lot of people don't want to go.
He did a number of small clubs around town. One was called Spices. There was the Cotton Club. Where we really built a real big following was a small club called Miltoneers.
Every Tuesday night right here at Miltoneers, join me, the Mac Man, with the Mac Man Band, the Macaronis. Ain't nothing phony. Tell like a T.I. is. We gonna have a good motherfucking time tonight.
We started the show with a big music number. We started and stopped. The band was real cool. Then he stopped finally. Welcome everybody to the show.
Guess what we got in the house, man?
Who's that, man?
The little baby, Tiny.
The little baby?
We got Shaq in the video. In the house. What's up, Shaq? Man, Shaq came to my office. And my daughter shook his hand like a little finger in the air. He gave me a shirt, I swear to God, I got it framed. Mama, where my Mac? I had a frame. It was like a quilt. I like to see your dick, man. I ain't gay, I just want to see if it fit.
Everybody, y'all, was at Miltoneers. And that was the place where I got my chops, y'all.
Show business is not easy. It's the hardest
working business there is. You know, you really have to scrape and dig to get anywhere in show business. And he did it in a way that's harder than anything, coming up through clubs. Those are the hardest places because you have to, that's like a brick at a time. It's like really literally starting from the ground up.
Watching him, I say as a veteran, as a professional, you kind of learned how to, you know, how to go outside Chicago, outside St. Louis, outside of your geographical knowing, and expand your humor. And when we went around the country, it was like, you know, his jokes, you know, he didn't change them. You know, whether white, black, or whatever crowd we had, it was like, you know, it was universal. So watching him kind of like, say, communicate his humor to the different parts of the world without, you know, it just being geographically set.
His big breaking point was in 1990, he won the Miller Lite Comedy Search, which was a really big contest in Chicago, and that was a huge deal.
Everybody got through with their routine, and they were getting ready to announce the winner. And I had told everybody, I said, he got this. He got this.
Mr. Bernie.
I did a hallelujah dance. I jumped. I was all over in the aisle. I did a Holy Ghost dance and everything. And I remember that, and I was screaming, yes, yes, just screamed. Damon Wayans said, do you know her? And he was like, yes, that's my wife.
The prize was $3,000, in which I put my daughter's name for college, the biggest payday of my life.
I think from that moment, it just kind of skyrocketed.
The Bernie Mac variety show consists of a lot of different sorts of entertainments. You have singing, you have dancing, you have comedy, I have juggling acts, I have tap, I have different kinds of entertainment.
We love Bernie Mac. Yeah, Bernie Mac is really, really funny.
Right there on the money. I put together another show, Midnight Mac. Went to HBO, pitched it, HBO bought it. The show was before its time.
Hi, sweetheart, how you doing?
Okay.
What's your name?
Tyretta.
Tyretta, another one, no fucked up name. Why couldn't you be Margaret or some shit like that? I've been practicing ventriloquism.
What's that?
That's when you got a dummy and you talk with the dummy. Man, I'm telling you, and I'm good, y'all. Bring it up. Come on, bring it up. Bring it up. This is Little Bernie.
Little Bernie.
This is Little Bernie.
Okay.
I'm gonna fuck y'all up tonight, man. Here, my debut. I've been practicing ventriloquism.
Ventriloquism.
Ladies and gentlemen, Little Bernie.
Damn! You said I only had to be in that box for 15 seconds. I've been in there over an hour. It's like an oven in that box.
You the motherfucking man, I gotta tell you.
What's wrong with you? You don't show that man.
Drop your motherfucking man. You don't do right. You don't do right.
I was an opening act for Bernie probably for about 5 steady years.
I met Ali in 77. He opened up as my opening act. Good friend of mine who writes for me and Chris Rock, and who wrote this movie, Head of State.
How does being a bail bondsman qualify you to be the Vice President of the United States of America?
That's right, I am a bail bondsman. People come to me when they're in trouble, like the United States. We bail people out. We bail out Mexico. We bail out the savings and loan. We bail out the airline industry. Now, you ask me, sir, what qualified me to run for Vice President? When the country's in trouble, I bail them out.
Hold that thought. We have a caller from Detroit. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Mitch. What you looking around for? It's Reggie, motherfucker. Where my money at, man?
Don't come with that bullshit. You see I'm on TV.
He should have played the president because, I mean, he was the president of the set. Everything gravitated to Bernie. So when you say cut, you know, movie sets, things have to be set up. It's a lot of downtime. You know, and I'm over here talking to the DP, thinking about, okay, the next shot is going to be this, and we're going to get a crane, and then, but everybody would be crowded around Bernie. And Bernie would just be telling stories, man. There's a scene where somebody goes, what is your feelings about NATO? And Bernie goes, oh, NATO Jones is a good man. Oh, what's your feelings about NATO? Do you know NATO? I mean, he ad-libbed the whole thing.
What about NATO? How do you feel about NATO?
I never met NATO. I never met NATO. I don't know nothing about it. I don't talk about people behind their back.
NATO is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
Oh, you didn't say that. I thought you were talking about the guy. I know this guy named NATO Jacobs.
Well, you have to know these things. If you're running for public
office. Do you know NATO Jacobs? Do you know NATO Jacobs?
I know what NATO is.
Do you know NATO Jacobs?
I'm sorry, I haven't met the gentleman.
That's what I said. Didn't I say that? You don't know nothing about NATO? I don't know nothing about NATO.
That was all him. It wasn't in the script. It was just Bernie doing Bernie. It takes a lot of balls to cast a guy that's funnier than you in your own movie.
Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, you the man. No, you the man.
When we went to DreamWorks to tell them that we wanted Bernie for the role of the vice president, basically their question was, who is Bernie Mac? Now, as luck would have it, that particular week, Bernie was on the cover of TV Guide. He was appearing on Oprah. I think they had recently, it wasn't too long before that they had just come off of the Kings of Comedy tour. So literally at that moment, Bernie was one of, if not the hottest comic in America.
Please welcome Bernie Mac. This ain't Jay Leno. They know you.
The disconnect, for what it's worth, from the executive suites to what's actually happening down in the streets was that far.
The casting directors were like, yeah, his vernacular, we just, it's kind of hard to understand what he's saying.
He's big, he's dark, he didn't speak, like people were used to, so those might have been things that were his, they could have been detrimental to his career.
I've certainly been in enough network meetings where you bring his name up and they go, I don't think, nobody can understand that guy.
People understand him. It's like, there's a whole bunch of, there's 5,000 people in here laughing. They seem to be understanding.
2 million black people in Chicago know what you said.
I know a good 15 million people who understand him perfectly.
I know the first thing you said, that's a black motherfucker who came out here. I know I'm a black motherfucker, I know I'm black. I started to really shock y'all this evening, I started wearing all black and some blue contact lenses. I'd have fucked y'all up. You know you're a black motherfucker when you put fingerprints on charcoal.
The darker you are, the less people wanted to deal with you, or you were ascribed a whole bunch of behaviors. So like that whole, for him to say, I'm so black I leave fingerprints on coal, like there's a whole slew of jokes like that among black people, which, comedy comes from pain. There's a bitterness about those jokes, and fair-skinned people who could pass for white had a whole another journey.
Then as he, started getting popular and getting more roles, those would be the directors like, yeah, bring your vernacular with you. Don't change that. That's, Mac it out. Be Bernie Mac. So it was hilarious. Like, wow. Who would have thought all those years ago you lost that part because they were like, his vernacular, no. And that's the very thing that made him who he was.
Man, you ain't never heard no Black Irish.
Black Irish?
That's right. Who you think invented the Mac Rib? Lucky Charms. Huh? Shamrock Shake.
He was so quick, he could just, you'd say something to him, and then he'd throw something out to you, and you're like, where did that come from?
Give me your papers. What? Your papers.
Let me tell you something. You got a whole bunch of nerve to ask me about my doggone papers. My family suffered, man, for lack of potatoes, foot and mouth disease, cake of sores, circumcision.
Circumcision?
That's right. My wife just had a set of twins, man. They both leprechauns.
Leprechaun.
Get a whip. Irish Spring. And you don't believe that you can wipe your ass with a 4-leaf clover.
I don't know if he ever even stayed on script. Quite possibly, maybe never even said one of the words that was written. So. Anytime that we could be close to Bernie was a good scene for us. We were always trying to be right by his side. We're like, let's not block him over there. We need him over here. We wanted him in the middle of us.
I'm serious. What are you all talking about?
He needed time for his plan, so he set up Seamus. And then turned him loose on Dylan.
I think you're onto something, Angels.
Damn! So Carter's the bad guy.
Yes. What's so funny about his humor is he tells the truth. That's why you laugh. And he makes you believe, or he makes you understand things that you wouldn't have otherwise understood because he's laid it out in truth to you.
I got my sisters cheering, living with me now. I'm about to go crazy like a motherfucker around here, See, my sister on drugs. I ain't ashamed to tell you. Some of your family members fucked up too around here.
I call that rock star comedy. We were like the Rolling Stones of comedy. I mean, it was private jets and everybody had their separate limos. It was a wild time.
I remember driving out when we were doing Madison Square Garden, and it said the Kings of Comedy sold out. And I remember all 4 of us, all but just pinching ourselves because we couldn't believe that we were in Madison Square Garden.
I will fuck your kid up.
I will fuck a kid up. That to me, him downstairs.
It was classic because everybody know them kids, man. You know what I mean? It's like them kids are in everybody's house,
2, 4, and 6. Ooh, shit, come help me babysit these motherfuckers.
When people find out I'm his daughter, that the first thing they ask, like, how are those kids? How are they?
He was so mean, but it was so funny. If he would have did it any other way, it wouldn't have been funny at all. It was just like, I mean, there was people that were literally crying because they felt so sorry for the characters he was doing. We could see the kids, we could see the little boy, we could see him standing in the, I mean, he drew a vivid picture with that joke.
I came in the house the other day, man, at 1:30 in the morning. The 2-year-old gonna send the guy downstairs for some milk and cookies. I'm going upstairs, he coming down, he gonna walk past me like I'm a visitor. I said, where you going? He said, to get some milk and cookies. He said it so funny, I wanted to hear it again. I said, get some what? He said, some milk and cookies. I love the motherfucker, but you know, I told him, I said, man, it's too goddamn late for some damn cookies and milk, man. Take your punk ass upstairs and get some rest. That's how I talk to him. Fuck that timeout shit.
Oh my God, I can't believe he just said that.
That kills me. And he's just like unabashed with it, and that's the best shit ever. It's great that he batted cleanup because he put his stamp on that.
We toured for 3 years, and when we shot the movie, you know, it was good to have, you know, someone with the cachet of Spike to come, you know, to come be involved. But for us, it was just, you know, it was another set of shows.
Got it started. He's real good. He's real funny. I'm looking to crack my side this evening. I know he's gonna be funny.
We shot it twice, so we had to wear the same outfit the next night. That threw a lot of us off. Like, I mean, you know, because again, you know, we were very serious about our clothes, and it was always about who shows up and what.
It used to be hilarious because we would wait on the elevator to see what Bernie was wearing. We would all try to get to the elevator to get down there to see what Bernie was gonna have on, and you could see people going. You know, white people at the Ritz ain't never seen no shit like this. Like this, who is this? Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch? But you couldn't tell him he didn't look good. You couldn't tell him.
He would buy like 5 of the same pair of pants in different colors, the shirts to match, and the shoes, all the shoes to match the pants.
People make assumptions when people